Black's only comedy. It marks an incredible 21 years of unfiltered laughter, cultural commentary, and top-tier entertainment. This evening, it's happening at the SunBet Arena at Times Square in Pretoria. This milestone event features a powerhouse lineup that brings together some of the country's most celebrated comedians. And it was founded, it's hosted by legendary comedian David Gow. And he joins us here this morning to chat a little bit more about the 2 decades worth of celebration and what else we can expect. Godfather David Gow, good morning. Yo, congratulations. I cannot believe it's 21 years.
I can't either.
You really have served as a solid foundation for Black voices in our country for comedy. But not only that, you've bridged cultural and racial lines as well. How do you take this all in? How do you make sense of the impact you've had over the years?
It only ever makes sense once you're on stage, once you're in front of the audience, and you see the people that are there, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go through the motions of trying to sell tickets and you putting the show together, trying to get the comedians, but it always all comes together in the moment that you start and you get on stage.
And I mean, it's the loyal following, right? Because some of us have been part of that journey and we've been privy to witnessing the evolution. David,
I think there are people who've been for 21 years.
Yeah.
There are people who have their years. There's parents now starting to bring their kids to the shows. There's people who are students who couldn't come, but now they're working and they can get there and get their own tickets and have their own cars. It's been quite a journey. It's been quite interesting watching it also just from the audience perspective.
Yeah, even just the venues changing. Yeah. It being in Emperors at the time, and now it's at the SunBet Arena, yeah. So that's a bigger stage as well. But David, also all the comedians you've provided a platform for, and you've enabled to go on to do bigger and greater things. You've literally played your parts in honing that. How is that journey, knowing that impact you've had?
I mean, it's great that it's worked out, you know, because the point has always been to give a platform for comedians that didn't have a platform. Yeah. There were no platform for Black comedians in South Africa, or non-white for that matter. And that's what the idea was, you know, and the name was a rip-off of the old apartheid laws of whites only and blankets net and all of that. Yeah. So it's great to see guys have gone on to become their own, and touring their own one-man shows and performing in whatever languages they want to perform in, which all started at Black's Only.
Yeah, I'm even just looking at your own evolution, because you've managed to go an entrepreneur. You've done so many hats as well. And how has that been for even the topics you garner? I know at some point it was very political because of the leadership that we had in our country. But then with the addition of different voices, we really got to see our country being reflected.
We've always themed the Black's Onlys around whatever was happening at the time. You know, we've had so many themes, from elections to Olympics. We would have themed this one CNU, Comedy of National Unity, because of GNU in the country. Okay. But we're celebrating 21 years, so that's why it's the 21st birthday party for Black's Only.
Who are some of the comedians that you're still in touch with 21 years later? Because it was Greg Maloka.
No, Greg Maloka was at YFM at the time. They were our first media partner.
Okay, wow.
And then, I mean, Loiso was on the first one. He's not on this one. Kim Engelbrecht was on the first one. Wow. It's crazy. Chris Forrest was on the first ever, and he's on this one.
So who else is then coming back 21 years later then? Is Kim coming back?
21 years, besides myself and Chris Forrest. No, Kim is not on. But Skumba is doing his 14th, I think, Black's Only. He remembers his first ever Black's Only. So, Pops is there. Celeste Ntuli.
Okay.
Mark Banks is doing his first ever Black's Only.
Okay, that's progressive.
Mark Banks was the second ever stand-up comedian I met in my life after John Flesmouth.
Oh, is John coming?
No.
Oh, okay.
The lineup is Pop-Pops, Celeste, Mbali Gudaz is new, Nina Hasty, Alan Committee, Kagiso KG Mohadi. There's about 14 comedians on the show. Ronnie Mudimola and Tosh Matlingos.
Okay. Usual suspects.
And if people can all not arrive at the same time, that's why we say doors open at 7, arrive at 7, have a drink, sit down. Surprise intro for me at 10 to 8. We start the show at 8 o'clock. Okay. And we wrap it up at 11:30. But we always hope people don't all arrive at the same time at 5 to 8, which is what people do, you know. Mm-hmm. So,
okay, you've heard the Godfather's
we want to start on time.
Please. David, how has social media also played a role in the evolution? Even just streaming platforms now, comedy being taken to TV, to radio. How do you also reimagine and adapt now, 21 years and beyond? Because you've come of age, right?
I think it's I mean, obviously when we started, there wasn't social media 21 years ago. But there's been times we've trended when Twitter was still Twitter, not X at the time. And it wasn't as nasty, you know. But my relationship with social media, especially on Twitter, there's people that will arrive at the show. If I said the show starts at 8, at 8:10, people will start tweeting and sending me pictures of them at the show saying, we're here, why hasn't the show started yet? That's always been like a consistent thing with the audience, with Black Songwe. So, and then I have to explain, I'm here, I'm there hours and hours before the show starts. You know, I sometimes sleep at the venue and wake up at the venue.
Okay, well, David, congratulations.
So, but thank you, thanks very much. It's been an amazing 21 years. I think it's been wonderful for so many comedians as well.
Yeah.
Thank you to all our partners out there. Never had a sponsor in that 21 years, ever.
No.
You know, being carried by my partner, Roddy Quinn, real concerts, real comedy, and you do this one, you go do the next show. But the name seems to scare corporate sponsors in South Africa after 21 years.
Wow, that's the impact, that's the gravitas you hold there. And thank you for holding truth to power.
I'm a bok or something. I'm a black.
Something you can expect ahead of tonight's Black Sony comedy. You heard there from David Gao, legendary comedian David Gao. They're chatting about 21 years of existence. He's the founder of the show, right? Looking at the journey that they've had. Look at where to from here as well, 21 years and beyond. Perhaps some more support can also be garnered for this next juncture. But we're going to have to leave the combo there. We're going to have to also leave and end the show there. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, more news and updates on the other side of this. For myself, Liesl Wilson and the crew, take care. We'll see you next time.